Look, the harsh truth is this: people don't trust your brand. And it's not because of one simple mistake, it's because something way deeper is missing. You can throw money at ads, polish your logo, post nonstop content, and still, your audience feels nothing. No trust, no connection, just noise. That sting? It's brutal. Because every day, behind the polished facade, your brand might be whispering the same tired lies the world has been feeding everyone else. You try to promise freedom, but your actions feel like rules, tight, rigid, suffocating rules. You sell equality, but your message rewards the average and sidelines the exceptional. That's a problem, a huge one. If your brand feels like a product of the system, safe, predictable, comfortable, people see right through it. They smell it from a mile away. People want to believe. Not in your fancy taglines or your slick campaigns. Those are just cheap distractions. They want to believe in you. They want to trust what your brand really means. The problem is, what your brand says and what it actually does don't line up. When your brand is just another face in the crowd, promoting sameness, selling convenience, underpinning the very system that kills individuality and courage, trust dies. Fast. And the worst part? You probably don't even realize you're part of this problem because you're stuck inside the same bubble as everyone else, staring at metrics, chasing validation, trying to fit in rather than stand out. But let's get real. The world doesn't need more clones copying the same tired formula. It needs fire. It needs rebellion. Brands that speak to the few who refuse to settle. The rare ones who burn because they know the comfort zone is a trap. These people aren't waiting for you to catch up. They're moving past everyone else, unlearning everything they thought they knew. And if your brand isn't there with them, you don't earn their trust. You lose it. So how do you break this cycle? How do you build a brand that doesn't just sell, but connects? That doesn't just shout, but is listened to? The answer isn't in adding more noise. It's in cutting through it with brutal honesty and raw authenticity. You must stop hiding behind corporate speak and empty promises. The moment your brand dares to say, "We're not perfect, we're flawed, we're real, but we're relentless," that's when trust starts to flicker. But it's not enough just to say it. You have to live it every damn day, in every interaction, in every product, in every piece of content. Actions that match your words ignite trust. When people see that you're about more than the bottom line, that you're about giving power to the individual, challenging the system, creating space for the exceptional, that's when something magical happens. Suddenly, your brand isn't just a name, it's a movement. A home for those who are done playing by the old rules and want to rewrite them completely. Here's a secret nobody else talks about. The brands people truly trust don't speak to the masses. They speak to the few who are ready to burn bright. You want to build that kind of brand? Start by being fiercely selective. Align with the people who refuse to be boxed in. Those few who are unafraid to question everything, who reject comfort and conformity. Give them a place where they belong, not by conforming to them, but by amplifying their essence. When your brand becomes the spark that ignites their fire, you don't just win customers, you build a cult of belief. And belief is the root of all trust. But don't mistake this for a quick fix. This takes patience. It's a long game. Trust isn't built overnight when everyone else is looking for cheap wins and instant success. Those who truly win are those who keep playing, keep building, keep standing tall when the crowd moves sideways. They understand that trust is forged through consistency and courage. When you push through the noise with clarity and purpose, when your brand becomes synonymous with transformation, not comfort, that's when you become unforgettable. That's when your brand becomes a beacon not for followers, but for creators, rebels, and visionaries who will carry you forward. Another thing nobody wants to admit: you can't do this alone. The old system trains you to isolate yourself, to build walls, to compete bitterly even among allies. But the brightest individuals are never truly isolated. They're connected. Connection is the hidden fuel for trust. It's where misaligned brilliance becomes aligned power. When your brand embraces not just diversity in appearance, but radical difference in thought, purpose, and strategy, you build an ecosystem so strong, so electric, that trust grows organically. The rare find their tribe, the misunderstood discover their voice, and your brand becomes the platform where all this magic happens. If your brand plays it safe, if it promises everything but delivers only convenience and half-truths, you will continue to lose ground. People are starving for brands that dare to be real, to invite them into a shared mission beyond profit. They want brands that help them rise, to transcend the mundane, to become their best selves. They want brands that ignite their inner fire instead of sucking it out. And if your brand doesn't do this, someone else will. Trust isn't a handout. It's a prize earned by those who refuse to be ordinary. There's no hiding from this reality. Trust isn't built with slick marketing tricks or cheap slogans. Trust is forged in the messy, relentless process of being utterly genuine, consistently courageous, and ruthlessly aligned with the few who dare to dream bigger, burn brighter, and break everything that holds them back. This means rethinking every assumption about what your brand stands for. It means breaking free from the prisons of comfort and consensus. It means embracing a code where your brand's will is its weapon, questioning every norm, transforming every failure into fuel for rebirth, and patiently playing the long game with those who share your fire. Imagine that for a moment, a brand that doesn't just exist to be liked or tolerated, but one that exists to unleash a movement. A brand that dismantles the illusions of freedom sold by the system and offers something real. True freedom, true connection, true transformation. This isn't a brand for the many, it's a brand for the few who refuse to settle, who will rather burn than bend. When brands embrace this, distrust turns into fierce loyalty. Indifference becomes obsession. Your audience stops looking for reasons to walk away and starts searching for ways to be part of what you're building. In a world where everyone screams for attention, be the brand that listens deeply. Be the brand that honors radical individualism and weaves it into unstoppable unity. Trust becomes not something you ask for, but something you embody. You stop chasing approval and start commanding it. Because when your brand connects with the rare, the unyielding, and the visionary, it transcends products and services. It becomes a cause, a force, a home. So ask yourself, is your brand ready to stop being a prisoner of the old system? Is it ready to burn the rulebook and write a new story with the few who dare to reject comfort? Because trust, true, deep, unshakable trust, lives there, on the edge, in the fire, where the exceptional gather and become unstoppable. The question isn't why no one trusts your brand. The question is, are you ready to become the brand worth trusting?